Well, I wanted to go on a walk for today's video, but check it out. It is 28 degrees with a 50% chance of snow in the next hour, which means we need to go now. What do you think? Is this like overkill? It feels overkill, but man, I look like a mountain man. Yeah. Okay, I'm ditching the hat. I'll bring it just in case. So I wanted to go for a walk because in this video we're going to be talking about money, and that's a very sensitive topic to talk about. And I wanted it to feel more like we were on a walk and hanging out rather than me sitting in a studio talking at you. So let's go. All right, so here's the main topic of the video. I wish we would talk about money more often, especially within the circles of people that we trust. Okay, Kevin, well, what do you mean? Do you mean like setting a budget? Do you mean like watching how much we spend at Starbucks? Nope, I'm talking about how much did you make last year? What are you investing in for your retirement? Are you paying anyone to do your taxes? Some of those more vulnerable and difficult questions, I think, are some of the most important that we just don't talk about. It's something that is almost discouraged. And I think it's because it's such an intimate part of people's lives that it never comes up. And like I said in the last video, it's not about the money, but it's about having the financial knowledge to be able to provide for your family in an efficient and effective way. So let me explain. But first, if you could hit the like button, my arm would very much appreciate it. So let's say you go to lunch with Jeff. Jeff is a friend of a friend, and somehow you guys get on the topic of money. And you share with Jeff that last year you made $70,000. It was more money than you ever thought that you'd be making. And yeah, because of the promotion, you're now working 60 hours a week, but you're still getting weekends with your family, so things are great. So then Jeff shares that he makes $150,000 a year. He works 35 hours a week, and actually this afternoon, he's heading up to the mountains with his family to their cabin for the weekend. And that because of some of the investments he's made throughout his life, he'll actually be able to retire in 5 years at the age of 45. So man, in that moment, wouldn't you be like, Jeff, what the heck? How did you do it? What did you do? What are the steps you took to actually be able to get to that point? And those are the conversations that I wish that we would be having more often. Now, not all conversations are gonna be that extreme, but man, if you could even just have small conversations with your friends like, hey, do you guys have an IRA? Are you saving for retirement? Are you planning on, are you saving up for an investment property? So even just asking those small questions can open the doors to so many more topics and conversations about how other people your age are managing their finances. My arm is dead. Okay, but let's say that you're after the conversation with Jeff. There's somebody in your life that you really admire and have clearly made some smart financial moves. How do you sit down with that person and enter into such a vulnerable part of their life when honestly they're just helping you? They're not gonna really get anything out of it. You're the one that's going to be really getting all of the value from the conversation. So how do you approach that person and ask them to share their knowledge with you? So here's what you do. You call that person and you say, hey, this might sound like it is way out of left field, but I've really been trying to focus on my finances lately. But the problem is I don't really know where to go next. Now, I know this is a really personal topic, so feel free to shut me down, but I'd love to hear about some of the financial moves that you've made that have paid off. Could I take you to coffee next week and we can just talk finances?
Well, thanks for the coffee. But next time, more sugar, okay? Thanks, bye.
Something like that. Something where you're not really putting them too much on the spot, but gives them the opportunity to teach you something that they've learned in their journey. Now, salary might not come up, but that's okay. It's not about the dollar signs, it's about how they got there. So don't feel like you need to go into the conversation saying, okay, my ultimate goal is to figure out how much you make at the end of the year. No, it's about gaining that financial knowledge that they have and then applying those steps to your financial journey. Now, here's some good news for the introverts. If that conversation scares you half to death by sitting down with somebody and asking those personal questions, I would still encourage you to do it. But there are so many resources that are out there on the internet, especially YouTube. There are people that are being completely transparent with how much they're making and how they got there. You just gotta find them. Find somebody that you click with and watch their videos. So bottom line, before my arm falls off, talk about money more. Initiate those conversations with your friends, not to figure out how much they're making or compare yourselves to them, but because there's so much good that can come out of collaborating with others, especially around finances. Okay, I'm walking back the way I came because it's about another mile and a half, and I'm not carrying this thing that far. So, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.